Usually, a what if would start exactly at the very beginning of Dragon Ball, or at least the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. What changes this time is the fact that the vast majority of Dragon Ball Z is completely unharmed. So from the very beginning since Raditz came in, all the way up until Buu Saga, nothing changes. The only difference over here is that Gohan does not get Mystic. As it's of power, or raw form, reached through Old Kai, it doesn't exist, so Gohan has to resort to his regular Super Saiyan forms. So once Gohan destroys the Z-Sword, Old Kai does come out, but when it comes to unleashing the hidden potential of Gohan's, that doesn't really happen. Rather, he's getting a potential unlock instead. Old Kai explains it as a more sophisticated way to unleash someone's potential that is much better than what the Namekians would do. And so Gohan takes it. So even though Gohan doesn't get the Mystic form, he does get a potential unlock and has to resort to using regular Super Saiyan forms to go up against Super Buu. The difference between this potential unlock and the Namekian's potential unlock is very simple. Instead of just releasing the hidden potential that the user has, it also gets the person to use the full power like he actually trained in this entire life. Basically, Gohan trains without being trained. That said, he has just about enough power in order to take on Super Buu in the Super Saiyan 2, which is very equal to Mystic form in the actual canon. So Gohan goes to fight Super Buu, and it's pretty much the same as canon. The only difference is that it's not Mystic, but rather Super Saiyan 2. So even though the forms are different, everything else is the same. And so Gohan eventually gets absorbed along with Gotenks. Next up is another cool thing which doesn't really have any significance. However, since Gohan's base is now way higher, it means that the final Spirit Bomb that Goku uses is slightly a bit more powerful since Gohan is much more powerful. And so when Gohan spirits his energy, the Spirit Bomb is also a bit stronger. However, it doesn't really impact much, and so Goku does get pushed back by Kid Buu. So the end is pretty much the same. Now entering Dragon Ball Super, everything changes. Of course, Beerus awakens, Goku is training with King Kai, Vegeta is training on his own, Gohan is having a family obviously, and everyone is just living their own lives. Beerus awoke and is looking for a Super Saiyan God. However, since it's a prophecy which actually came true in the canon, this time it does not, because when Beerus comes over to Goku, Goku doesn't know it, Vegeta doesn't know it, and eventually when it comes to an ultimatum and they ask Shenron, even Shenron doesn't know. Rather explains it as just a legend, and that how this one Saiyan called Yamoshi managed to do it apparently. However, there's no given proof nor a way to transform. So Beerus is basically left on his own to decide what happens to Earth. However, Goku and Vegeta actually get an idea. Goku knows where the world of the Kais is, and so he teleports there, asking Shin for the Potara earrings, wanting to fuse with Vegeta and finally put things to an end. Goku returns back with the Potara and is about to fuse into Vegito. However, he realizes that Gohan is a tad bit more powerful than Vegeta, and so he fuses with Gohan instead, becoming Gokhan. Since Goku has Super Saiyan 3 and Gohan has that potential unlock/unleash, they actually have Super Saiyan 3 and they use it to their advantage against Beerus. However, it doesn't nearly do us half as much as Super Saiyan God does in canon, and so they eventually lose. And the events of canon go pretty much the same. Beerus spares the Earth because of its food and then leaves the Earth quote-unquote napping. The events go relatively the same. Goku is farming/training, Gohan has a child and is taking care of Videl while pregnant, and Vegeta is using copium. Whis travels to Earth for his cuisines and encounters Vegeta, which wants to train with Whis and does everything he can in order to do so, and Whis takes him in. Not long after, Goku as well. Gohan stays because he doesn't really want to train and wants to take care of Pan. Over at Beerus' world, everything goes relatively the same. They both learn how to access God Ki and they eventually get a God Essence. Since God Essence isn't necessarily a form, rather a state, they can actually use it to their own free will. However, it does a significant change on them. Since they're forced to use normal Super Saiyan, the form slightly changes. Instead of having a normal aura, it changes to like a godlike aura. So the Super Saiyan power is the same, however, the aura changes into something godlike. So basically, it just becomes a Super Saiyan version of the Super Saiyan Blue aura. That's it. So now, Goku and Vegeta can use Super Saiyan God in a way, using the God Essence state. And Super Saiyan Blue is sort of replaced by God Essence stacked on top of a normal Super Saiyan. However, there's a small drawback. Since Super Saiyan Blue is supposed to be way stronger, Super Saiyan with God Essence is weaker. So when it comes time for Frieza to arrive on Earth, Goku gets quite a bigger beating than in the original canon. And so when Goku finally realizes the weakness of Frieza's, he tries to use it to his full advantage, and then when Vegeta takes over, Vegeta has to do a little bit more effort in order to defeat Frieza. Since Goku used Super Saiyan 3 with God Essence and Vegeta has to use God Essence on Super Saiyan 2, which basically kind of forces him to learn Super Saiyan 3, or at least try to attain it. Now here's where things get interesting. Instead of Vegeta going and flexing his Super Saiyan power, he actually defeats Frieza right after he has downed him. So there's no destruction of the planet Earth and also no rewind. So in this case, Vegeta actually does take the win. Moving on to the Universe 6 saga, things start panning out a little differently. Vegeta is looking for new ways in order to get some more boost out of his form, and so he starts experimenting with his tail. He doesn't exactly know what to do apart from having Uzaru, but he has a good lead. Having some discussions with the Old Kai suggests that he should use the tail, as since there is some power hidden within it, there possibly could be another whole form inside of it. And so Vegeta takes the bait and starts researching. Goku also catches the guard and also goes on board with the entire idea. And so, Vegeta and Goku go gather the Dragon Balls and get the wish to regrow their tails back. And so, Goku and Vegeta have their tails. Now that they have tails, they can begin training. But just as they're about to begin, Champa arrives in Universe 7, more specifically Beerus' world, and also goes over to Beerus and asks him to try out some of the Universe 6 cuisines. Beerus accepts, and then they go try everything out. The events from here go pretty much the same as in canon, with Beerus accepting the offer of a tournament. And so instead of training, Goku and Vegeta now have to go and get ready for the tournament. The competitors are all chosen the same as in canon, so Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Monaka, and Boo. For now, everything goes as in the original. First match, Goku and Batamo. Match 2, Goku vs Frost. Match 3, Piccolo vs Frost. Match 4, Vegeta vs Frost because he got the pride. Match 5, Vegeta and Automagetta. Then Vegeta and Kaba. In a match between Vegeta and Kaba, nothing really changes. Vegeta still teaches Kaba Super Saiyan. However, the only thing that changes is the fact that Vegeta just switches his aura and his power spikes up drastically, which Kaba notices and is surprised by it. Vegeta then knocks out Kaba and then tells him how to become a real Saiyan. Kaba is then thankful to Vegeta for training him. With Kaba out of the way, shit hits the fan right now as Vegeta is going up against Hit. Hit is basically manhandling Vegeta everywhere and is throwing him around like a pebble. Vegeta cannot read any of the Hit's movements and so is getting thrown out of the tournament. And then Goku is back in the tournament and all ready to go up against Hit, having a bit of an epiphany. Goku enters the ring, not feeling super confident, however, he has a secret ace up his sleeve. And so, he goes up against Hit. Hit starts off by just standing in place, while Goku is trying to hit him. Hit is just using his regular time skip, not doing anything, and just stands in place. Goku realizes that time skip can be maneuvered, and so he tries one thing, and that is to block a second before the hit happens. And so that works. However, it doesn't work for long, as Hit notices that and then takes over the battle yet again. With Goku being thrown around again, Goku resorts to using God Essence Super Saiyan to his advantage and then starts attacking Hit. Hit is getting trouble once again, but manages to go and power up. But instead of powering up his power, he powers up his time skip, making it go further into the future. From here on out, everything goes as per original up until Goku decides to use Kaioken. Since in canon, Super Saiyan Blue is going to power through extreme control, this time the Super Saiyan form already has all of that, because Goku has mastered it all the way back in the Cell Saga along with Gohan. That means all Goku has to do is to utilize the Kaioken, and so Goku does so, powering it up to times 10. In this story, Goku is a bit weaker, as just like in the revival of F Saga, the God Essence on top of Super Saiyan is a bit weaker than Super Saiyan Blue. So Goku has to ramp it up a bit more, to times 20. Since Super Saiyan is quite a bit more tame than Blue, Goku manages to utilize times 20 Kaioken with ease, managing to surpass Hit big time. From here on out, everything goes as per original. Goku and Hit battle it out, Goku decides to throw all the rules out, and then battles Hit with everything he's got. Goku forfeits the match, Hit wins, and then Monaka is up next. Monaka does his punch, Hit acts like he's been hit by a train, and Monaka wins for Universe 7. Goku this time, however, doesn't get the onset energy disorder, and so his Kaioken is maintained. Zeno comes by, and so Goku and Zenny decide to hold a tournament. With that out of the way, they all go home and celebrate the victory, with Beerus wishing the Earth for Universe 6. After a bit, Goku is called into Zeno's palace for Zeno to give Goku the Zeno button. Goku sees no real use to it, however, the next following events will make use of it quite well, as Future Trunks is running away from a foe, and that foe is Goku Black. He manages to escape to the present timeline, warning everyone who's at Capsule Corp of Goku Black. Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis all arrive to Earth, and after witnessing Goku Black's power for the first time, they decide to go into the future after Goku battles Goku Black. In the future, Vegeta feeds what's left of the survivors, and then they go fight Goku Black. Goku Black arrives and starts battling Vegeta, to whom he's losing pretty badly. However, Goku Black figured something out. In the battle with Goku, Goku Black managed to access a new power. And that power is the very same God Essence Super Saiyan. Since Divine Ki is technically God Ki, Goku Black has the normal Super Saiyan form with the same aura as Goku and the rest. However, what he doesn't have is all the rest of the transformations, which means that Goku and Vegeta are still in the lead with Super Saiyan 2 and 3. However, even though they're beating Goku Black, Zamasu arrives and starts trashing everybody else, using his immortality. And so, Goku Black manages to beat everybody there, and they have to retreat back underground. Black and Zamasu are trying to search for them, however, to no avail. Goku, Vegeta, and Future Trunks all take a senzu bean, and then decide to go out there again. However, Vegeta starts planning for the first time in forever, and decides that he will take on Goku Black. Goku interjects, saying that he has way more power than he does, and so he will take on Goku Black, while Vegeta takes on Zamasu. Future Trunks stays by the sidelines and observes everything that's going on. And so, Goku and Vegeta go back out, fully recovered, and then Goku goes up against Goku Black and Vegeta against Zamasu. Goku is doing fairly well against Black, however, Vegeta cannot get an edge on Zamasu, since Zamasu is constantly regenerating and doesn't get hurt, which means that Vegeta has to pull some shit out of his ass. Meanwhile with Goku, Goku is using God Essence Super Saiyan 3 and is basically packing Goku Black. Zamasu tries to intervene to Goku Black and tries hitting Goku and tries to somehow hurt him. However, that doesn't work as Vegeta comes in clutch to Goku and then kicks Zamasu back into the fight scene with him, which gives Goku just about enough time to go and try finish Goku Black off. However, Goku Black stops and tries to reason with Goku, trying to fool him into thinking that he's become a good guy now and trying to understand the entirety of the mortals. Goku believes it, being all dumb and all. However, he shines in a bit of a smart side of his, explaining to Goku Black how mortals are just shells of the Supreme Kais, and that the Supreme Kais are the ones that form the mortals, and so they have to take good care of them in order to create a good mortal. Goku Black, well, Zamasu finally realizes what Goku was saying all this time, and so he actually shines a bit of light onto Goku, saying that he was trying to fool him the first time. However, realizing it all now makes him all just a fool, saying that Zamasu, who's currently fighting Vegeta, needs to be stopped, and so they try doing that. However, Zamasu doesn't give a solitary fuck, and so continues on battling all three of them at once. And even with the immortality, Zamasu isn't faring very well, and neither do the Saiyans. And so Goku thinks about it and then pulls out the Zeno button, summoning Zeno, then asking of Zeno to get rid of Zamasu. Zamasu pleads with Zeno, however Zeno does not give a damn, and so he tries to threaten Zeno. However, Zeno gets even angrier and then decides to destroy the entire reality as it is, which forces all the Saiyans apart from Goku Black to jump onto the time machine and go back into the past. Goku screams for Goku Black to jump on board. However, Goku Black says that this was his own doing and that he will stay here to pay the price, getting destroyed along with Zamasu. Since they don't have any time left, Future Trunks just punches it back into the past, leaving Goku Black, Zeno, and Zamasu to their own bidding. In the present timeline, Goku, Vegeta, Mai, and Future Trunks have escaped. However, Future Trunks and Mai start crying, saying that they have left all those innocent lives to get destroyed by the hands of Zeno. From this point on, everything goes as in the original. Goku goes back into the future and looks for future Zeno, bringing him back, bringing future Zeno to the present Zeno and giving him a partner to play with. At a celebratory dinner, Future Trunks and Mai are presented two choices, either to stay in this timeline or go to an alternate timeline where they both exist, and so the duo takes up on going to the alternate timeline, where none of the bullshit has happened, and so they can live in peace. And so, even though Goku Black has turned good, he has atoned for the sins he has made on a mortal kind, along with Zamasu. After those events, Goku is back on the farmland. After he realizes he's become rusty protecting it, he goes to Beerus' world to train, and Beerus packs him for being weak. So quirky Goku decides to press the Zeno button and go straight to Zeno's world. Goku is greeted by the Grand Minister who takes him to see Zeno, and Goku asks Zeno about the tournament and the present Zeno remembers that he forgot. After explaining it to the future Zeno, they both decide to host that tournament of power. Grand Minister later states that once they figure out the tournament details, he will contact the Supreme Kais of each universe. Goku agrees and heads back, only to be gutted by Beerus for ignoring his warnings. Later, Whis takes the group to the sacred world of the Kais, and the three head there and meet Supreme Kai, Kibito, and Old Kai, asking them what's the point of their visit. And so not before long, the Grand Minister has arrived at the sacred world of the Kais in Universe 7 in order to relay the details for the Tournament of Power. The Grand Priest takes a good look at the Saiyans and Kais, then gets on to talking. He explains the tournament rules and how everything is going to unfold. Just like in canon, the rules stay the same, and the group over at the world of Kais has the same reaction as in canon. With that little conversation, Grand Priest leaves, and the gang is left wondering on what to do next and who's gonna participate in the Zeno Expo that future Zeno has requested to happen. So, they pick out a few choices up until they settle on Goku, Gohan, and Buu to battle against the Trio of Danger. In the Zeno Expo, the events go pretty similarly except for the battle with Bergamo and Goku. Goku battles Bergamo the same way for the majority of the battle until Goku goes into his God Essence Super Saiyan that things change a little. The gods that came to spectate see that Goku has attained the power of the gods and that he's using it against Bergamo whenever he pleases, with an unknown warrior taking interest in the Saiyan. Bergamo is defeated in the same fashion, however though, Toppo requests a battle with Goku to see where he stands. That's where things change a little bit. Since Goku can now utilize Super Saiyan 3 with his God Essence and utilize it properly, he uses regular Super Saiyan with God Essence right from the start, since he already displayed it and goes to town trying to defeat Toppo. However, Toppo is quite powerful in his own league and is handling Goku quite well. Goku goes God's Essence Super Saiyan 2 and now has a better chance to win, starting to charge a Kamehameha. Grand Prix stops them, saying that going all out right now will destroy the thrill of Zenos for the real thing. And so, Goku and Toppo stop. Toppo says that his sworn ally Jiren will defeat him with ease, to which Goku says, bring it on. After that little adventure, the tournament participants are now yet to be chosen. The canon evolves the same from here. However, a small detail during appointing Android 17 is that Goku does power up in his final form to get the Poacher Boss and 17 from outer space, but he has to hold his breath since the form does not allow him to breathe in space like the Super Saiyan God forms would allow them. The events go relatively the same from here. Goku still fools a good chunk with a money bait, and Frieza is still in the tournament, so the participants do not change from the original. What does change, however, is the fact that Vegeta goes to the time chamber to train up a bit to test his new theory, rewinding back to the theory that the old Kai has told him about. In either case, Vegeta does his training, and Whis decides to hold hands during the transfer, and nearly breaks apart the entire team doing so. In the Null Void, a couple of universes arrive along with the 7th and are patiently waiting for the start of the tournament. Goku is intrigued in Jiren and can't wait to throw punches at him, since Jiren is so mysterious and is spiking Goku's Saiyan thrill of battle. The tournament starts, and the entire tournament up until 10-minute mark is the same. The only difference is that God and Blue forms do not exist, so the alterations are God Essence Super Saiyan up until Super Saiyan 3. Kaioken still exists, and so Goku uses it against Jiren. However though, when Jiren throws the Spirit Bomb back to Goku, Goku does not unlock Ultra Instinct. Rather, he's just found alive after being considered dead from his own hand by the Grand Priest. The Spirit Bomb gave Goku just about enough power to come and recover. Vegeta, seeing Goku all beat up, jumps on the opportunity to battle against Jiren. Jiren antagonizes Vegeta, asking what does he think he can do after his little Saiyan friend managed to accomplish absolutely nothing. Vegeta smirks, absorbing it into his pride and using it as fuel for what comes next. Vegeta starts powering up the fake moon, saying that the Saiyans aren't to be messed with and that he will drop his stoic bravado after he sees the next power-up. Vegeta throws the fake moon and deploys it, slowly becoming a Great Ape. Goku knows of the whole Great Ape thing, so he only observes Vegeta doing it. Vegeta successfully transforms into Ozaru and slowly goes into Golden Ozaru, with Jiren watching on and letting Vegeta transform. Vegeta is doing his all to manage a transformation perfectly, and so with that, he powers up further and shrinks into a more humanoid form. Vegeta has now become a Super Saiyan 4 and bursting his aura. The aura is a bit different than what they usually have in their God Essence. Instead of it being golden and looking similar to blue, it's actually like a normal aura, but wavy and pinkish. Jiren looks on to what Vegeta has become and tells him that he can now join the trio of danger, while Vegeta scuffs and rushes at Jiren with extreme speed, landing a punch on him. That punch managed to send Jiren away into the hill, and Vegeta soon followed to try and defeat Jiren. Jiren didn't expect that one bit, but he knew he was heavily suppressed, so it wasn't a big issue for him at all. Jiren powers up a bit and attacks Vegeta. Vegeta is trying his best to counter, but it's no match for the all-powerful Jiren. Jiren is packing Vegeta all the way and is about to throw him off. However, Goku joins in on the fun with his own Super Saiyan 4. Vegeta asks Goku what he's doing, and Goku replies that he wouldn't pass up fighting Jiren for the world. And so, the Saiyan duo begins their fight 2-on-1. Jiren isn't concerned yet again and is just chilling with the two Super Saiyan 4s trying to land a single hit on him. Vegeta thought he has finally surpassed Goku with his new power-up, but he also forgot that Goku has a tail too, as he's grown it as well, and was also trying to find ways to use it. Even though that now both Jiren and Goku have shattered his pride at this point, Vegeta still fights on and is trying his best to land a hit on Jiren. None of the tricks work, and Jiren is overpowering them big time. Vegeta is getting really angry and is at this point just flailing his arms all over the place, which opens him up to a very hard impact from Jiren, sending him into a mountain and out of Super Saiyan 4. Goku is now left as the only one battling Jiren, trying to come up with something to take him down, and gets one. He decides to use Super Saiyan 4 and Kaioken put together, although he has never tried it on that form. Though as he's about to do it, Gohan, Piccolo, and Frieza come to aid, along with Hit and the three Saiyans from Universe 6, Caulifla, Kale, and Kaba. They see that Jiren is really powerful and the Saiyan side got the better of them. Jiren, however, is getting annoyed and starts powering up into its limited breaker state. The sheer pressure of ki Jiren is exerting is pushing everyone away from him, managing to even push some off the ring and sending them to the bleachers. Vegeta, being in no condition to fight, is one of those who got pushed off and is now sitting in the bleachers, watching on everyone else struggling to stay planted on the tournament grounds. Goku, trying to keep himself in battle, whips out his Kaioken times 10 and tries attacking, but just as he gets halfway to Jiren, his body says no from the previously nearly mortally threatening experience he had with his own Spirit Bomb. He gets into pain and his Kaioken is abruptly cancelled, going back into a regular Super Saiyan 4 and continuing to push back along with the rest of the gang. Frieza loses his golden form, Android 17 is getting severely wounded, and Gohan cannot hold on, is getting kicked off the ground, and the Saiyans are holding on for dear life on the rock, trying not to get pushed away. Jiren isn't even using that much energy and is able to keep up with the pushes. Goku is eventually blown off the face of the arena too and into the bleachers, leaving Piccolo, 17 and Kale in the ring, with everyone else observing Jiren's power from the sidelines. Kale powers up into a berserker state and attacks Jiren, but it doesn't help and she too is pushed back into the bleachers. 17 cannot hold his barriers any longer and gets pushed back along with Piccolo, making Jiren and his universe the victor of the Tournament of Power, and so Universe 7 is erased from existence. Goku still does the same speech at Jiren, making Jiren smile before Goku disappears, along with the rest of the Universe 7. Jiren, now amazed at the potential of the cosmos has, decides to restore all the universes that were deleted as a result of this tournament. Grand Priest grants the wish with the Super Dragon Balls, and all the universes come back, with both Goku and Jiren smiling at the skies. The places are just reversed. Having returned home, the Saiyans are trying to figure out on how to make their new power legit and utilize all of it, so they decide to go in the time chamber. Since Frieza never got revived, Broly doesn't get introduced, at least not yet, so the Saiyans have a bit more time in between the universe survival and Galactic Patrol prisoner sagas. Goku and Vegeta train up and find better ways to get more powerful using the forms. Vegeta, however, relays back to the words of Whis, saying that the best way for them to get more powerful is to train their normal base, since it will make the forms much more powerful. And so, Goku and Vegeta train without any forms and no Zenkai, since Zenkai isn't doing much anymore, if at all. Speaking of Zenkai, Gohan has decided to start training a bit more again. Knowing of the whole Zenkai thing now and connecting the dots from all the way back in Frieza and Revival of F sagas when he was severely injured fending off against the aggressor. Gohan brings Piccolo along for the ride to train him up and get him stronger. As for the two Saiyans, the way they get introduced to Moro is quite similar. All three get kidnapped by the Galactic Patrol and are taken into space. Goku and Vegeta wake up and explain the situation, and before long, they are in Namek fighting Moro. Moro fights them and slowly regains his youth, as the Saiyans get drained by the minute. After the first battle, Moro is almost caught, but Buu lets Grand Supreme Kai out, which fights Moro. Earth is invaded by Sagambo and the gang, which lets Gohan use his new skills. But in vain, as 7-3 is packing him with his own techniques. Dende, Krillin, and Piccolo all at once use their stolen techniques, and Gohan then gets up and powers up all the way to Super Saiyan 3 and starts outclassing 7-3. Krillin defeats some of the smaller boys of the opposing team, while Gohan and Piccolo are handling 7-3. In this instance, 7-3 is finished off before he manages to switch to Moro's abilities to steal their energy, and so he's destroyed by the Unison of Senko from Gohan and Piccolo. Sagambo escapes to be seen another day. Now here is where the story takes a turn. Since 7-3 is now dead, Moro has to compensate in regard to absorbing 7-3. So after the shenanigans with Vegeta's forced spirit vision, Moro tries escaping by reaching Sagambo's ship and eating Sagambo as well as Shimoraka instead of just killing him off. With that, Moro takes a bit of a different appearance, taking up after himself and the two he just swallowed when it comes to looks, as Goku and Vegeta can barely comprehend what's going on. Since 7-3 was much more experienced than the two Moro has just absorbed right now, this Moro is at a small disadvantage and cannot copy abilities in this case. But his power of absorbing energy is much greater as a result of a larger power level. With that in mind, Vegeta knows he can retry using Spirit Vision yet again. However, there's one issue. Since Moro has absorbed two people with pretty high power levels, not even Super Saiyan 4 doesn't cut it for Goku and Vegeta. Goku even used his Kaioken, but it turns out that Kaioken not only boosts strength, speed, and senses, but energy output altogether, so his ki is stolen by Moro quite a lot faster than he usually would. Vegeta, on the other hand, didn't know what else to do. He decides to gather up all the power he has and go further beyond with his Super Saiyan 4. It takes a while, but he goes into full power Super Saiyan 4. Now to clarify this a little, yes, it was made possible in GT by Goku absorbing ki from a bunch of Saiyans to get a boost. I just made it different here as a what-if mechanic to make it easier to understand later, and you'll see why. Vegeta gains a red glow around his body to show the full powered state of Vegeta's power, as Vegeta now attacks powered up Moro. But it doesn't work and he's easily cast aside, with Boo and Gohan stepping in to help out. Goku and Vegeta get the idea of fusion and they decide that it could be the best course of action, knowing Moro's ability to absorb energy. They also know Vegeta's witty way to defeat his opponents, so they start bitching about it, and Mirrors comes in clutch to give them some time to plan it all out. And so, while Moro is being kept busy by Mirrors, Goku and Vegeta decide to fuse after all, using the Potara earrings. Whis is conveniently there and gives them Shin's earrings, which allows them to fuse. Goku and Vegeta are healed and restored by Boo, and so the two fuse into Vegeta. Though, just as Vegeta was about to get to packing Moro, Moro absorbed Mirrors' powers after Mirrors disappeared as a result of Mirrors fighting Moro, while Vegeta and Goku were busy fusing. Vegeta got infuriated, and even with that fusion, he was unable to get a hold of Moro. Vegeta did the fusion for nothing, as Moro has taken a more angelic form and is starting to get used to its power. Vegeta has no chance against this new Moro, so he doesn't have a smile anymore. Rather, he's quite stoic, and what's more is that Vegeta right now is much more serious compared to canon iterations. Vegeta tries everything he can in order to somehow overpower Moro, but Moro is having none of it, and is resorting to consuming Vegeta as well. Vegeta knows what Moro is planning, so he only uses range attacks to prevent being swallowed. As Vegeta is using regular forms, he has plenty of time to come up with something to defeat Moro. Attempting to slide underneath Moro, he summons his Keyblade and pierces through Moro, probably destroying any chance of him having children. Now that he managed to inflict damage, Vegeta now has a chance to use his Spirit Vision to get rid of the two Moro has absorbed. Sagambo and Shimoraka are busted out and they take a look at what Moro has become. Moro is getting unstable, having Mirrors' powers, and is growing larger in size, starting to take over the place. But instead of being loyal to him, they see that Moro is really mad in the head and turn to face him alongside the Saiyans, not promising they have turned good though. And so, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Boo, now Grand Supreme Kai, Shimoraka and Sagambo decide on a combined attack using Moro's own energy. Vegeta starts pulling out powers from within Moro that he stole and getting him weak as well as damaged. Vegeta feels the power of Mirrors within Moro's energy and uses it to his own, as he manages to use Ultra Instinct temporarily as a technique thanks to mirrors. Another clarification, yes, Ultra Instinct does not exist only as a form. Whis and the rest of the angels have Ultra Instinct as a technique, while mortals can have it as a form. With the combined efforts of everyone, they shoot their own attacks, with Vegito charging right at Moro. Moro is doing everything he can, even using the power left over from Beerus' ability to his advantage. However, Vegito is a much more experienced fighter and is able to inflict a ton of damage to Moro, as well as releasing the energy Moro has accumulated. Vegito's hair goes silver for one last attack, managing to shoot a blast at Moro from the back and catching Moro in a key wave sandwich, which slowly destroys him. Vegito defuses prematurely because Beerus' Ultra Instinct technique is taking too much out of the fusion, and they defuse back into Goku and Vegeta. One thing to note is that Goku and Vegeta still have that power and are still shooting their own key waves. Moro is destroyed and the wave battle is now over. Goku and Vegeta aim at Shimorika and Sagambo, wanting to get rid of them too. The duo says not to do anything and that they will leave them be and never return, that they have their own issues to resolve. Goku says to let them go, saying that they really have no reason to be here and are genuine with their words. Vegeta listens and lowers his ki blast, letting them go. After the whole thing, Goku and the rest come home to be rewarded by the Galactic Patrol for their good deed and also to Pai after a good battle. The Saiyans eat everything that can be eaten and Boo is back to being himself, not having any recollection of anything that has happened. However, not everything is fine. Shin, Mirrors, and Whis are at Zeno's palace, where Grand Priest has returned Mirrors back as a mortal, and they are serving the worst possible sentence in existence of a cosmos. Playing with Zenos. Goku and Vegeta are sent to Zeno's world as well, since they absorbed some of the Mirrors' techniques. Grand Priest takes a look at them, then decides to let them keep the power and train with Whis to hone it. He sees the two Saiyans as good people, so he lets them hold on to Mirrors' techniques. With Goku and Vegeta now free to train, they wait for Whis' punishment to be done. In the meantime, they go discover this new technique on their own. Since they used it as Vegito, they both remember how it felt and how to access it. That memory is very vague though, as Vegeta only used it for a short period of time and ran out of it. So Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus are all chilling on Beerus' world and are eating ramen noodles. Beerus is amazed at their new primal power of Super Saiyan 4 and wonders if that's the final form of theirs and if they can go further beyond. From this point on, the events go similarly to canon. The only difference is that Goku and Vegeta resort to using their Super Saiyan 4 powers instead of Super Saiyan Blue. However, not everything stays the same. When Goku gets grounded and Vegeta steps in, Vegeta does use the powers Beerus has taught him, that being the Hakai, but does not get the power up in the thrill of battle. Instead of getting Ultra Ego, Vegeta gets increasingly protective of the planet and its inhabitants, which forces him to use the Ultra Instinct technique along his powered up Super Saiyan 4 power to get a hold of Granola. As Granola and Vegeta are duking it out, the Heaters begin their search for the Dragon Ball. Vegeta and Granola are trying their best to outdo one another, but each party is equal. Since the Ultra Instinct technique is honed with skill and not mastery, Vegeta can only use it more to improve it, which he didn't. Vegeta relies on a full power Super Saiyan 4 power to give him enough strength to keep pushing, but it doesn't help too much and Granola awakens his eye to get an advantage. Vegeta is brought down more and more by Granola, who keeps jabbing Vegeta in critical points on his body. Granola cannot keep up for too much longer as his newly found power is getting him weaker and weaker. Due to the inexperience, he slowly falls down to the ground. Vegeta isn't faring too well either, but he keeps on fighting and attacking Granola. Eventually, Goku and Monaito drop by and attempt to stop the battle. However, it takes a bit more time before Monaito manages to convince Granola to stop the battle to explain the entire situation. Heaters are concerned about the end of battle and so plan on confronting them. Gas is getting hasty with the Dragon Balls, wanting to get their wish and end them all. With the last Dragon Ball, Gas summons the dragon and the dragon grants the mysterious wish. After Gas gets his wish, he gets to rushing to the place of battle between the Cerealian and the Saiyans. Seeing Monaito, the Heater starts bitching at him for telling everything, but Monaito doesn't give a single shit. Monaito is then mortally wounded and is in the brink of dying. Granola goes to aid him, but Vegeta gives Monaito a senzu to recover, to which Monaito goes back to full strength in no time. Vegeta and Granola are healed up while Goku is fighting Oil and Maki. They are told to go take those two on while they still can. However, Vegeta has other plans and tells Granola to take those two on instead of Goku, while him and Goku go up against Gas and Elec. And so, Vegeta and Granola go and attack Oil and Maki, then leaving Granola alone with those two. Goku and Vegeta go ahead and take on Gas and Elec, and Vegeta is very confident on taking on Gas, and Goku is trying his best against Elec. Goku handles Elec very easily and is actually beating him, but Vegeta on the other hand isn't faring so well. Vegeta is not having the best time, even with Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan 4 full power at the same time. Gas has wished for the same thing as Granola, just better, so it doesn't have much effect on the Saiyan. Elec does not like what he's getting into and flees the battle, forcing Goku to chase after him. That gives Gas the opportunity to defeat Vegeta as fast as possible, and is so close to doing so too. However, Vegeta figures something out. Having already attained the gray-haired variant of Ultra Instinct technique as Vegito, he knows that it's the flow of battle that can trigger it, so he manages to close his eyes and just follow Gas's attacks, getting into the battle without thinking. That does help, and his power skyrockets, as well as his reaction time. Vegeta spikes in power, but doesn't receive the silver hair. With that small but significant power-up, he now has a chance at winning. Goku has defeated Elec, but just barely due to Elec using all sorts of tricks against Goku. Goku then went to help up against Maki, and so Goku and Granola managed to defeat Oil and Maki with relative ease. Now, it's all down to Vegeta and Gas. Granola enters the fight, trying to do something, but it gets cast to the side very easily. Goku then joins in with what little Ultra Instinct mastery he has, and the duel now overpowers Gas a bit. However, there is a small problem. Since Gas wished to overpower his opponent every time that opponent gets stronger, they do not last very long either, and so it takes Goku, Vegeta and Granola as well to fight Gas. Gas is not concerned at all and easily overpowers the gang after a little bit. The trio now has no clue on how to surpass Gas at all, so Whis comes by, saying that Beerus needs them all over at his planet this instant. Vegeta replies they're all kind of in the middle of something, but Whis winks and starts insisting. Goku, Vegeta and Granola catch on that Whis has a plan, and so they ditch the battle and go along with Whis. Gas is then left there, all on his own and wondering where the Saiyans going. Over at Beerus' world, Old Kai is also there along with Beerus. Beerus is disappointed in Vegeta's destruction ability, to which Vegeta replies apologetically. Goku on the other hand is packed by Whis, whom tells him that Vegeta has gotten the hang of Ultra Instinct technique before him, and that he's quite disappointed considering that Vegeta really has a much busier mindset due to his past and burdens set on him by the Saiyan race. In either case, Old Kai has a good idea on how to get those two to greater heights. Goku and Vegeta being on full alert on what Old Kai has to say. Old Kai begins. Old Kai tells them that they need a specific mindset to enter the next stage of the transformation. Goku and Vegeta immediately shift their full attention, and Old Kai explains how they need to reach a perfect set of emotions in order to transform into the next stage, as just going into a higher state requires precise control, and they will need God Ki and Ultra Instinct on top of that in order to even come close to Gas. Old Kai mentions that they need to move fast and go in the time chamber with him because time is of the essence. Gas is already becoming too powerful and nothing apart from his mortal limit can stop him, to which he's super close to. Getting into the time chamber, Goku goes first to undergo a spell that traps him in his own thoughts and mental pain. For Goku, it was quite easy since the spell didn't go too deep and Goku was able to get out of it quite fast, transforming into a new form with bluish white fur and hair. Vegeta witnesses the form for the first time and sees that it's super simple to get, wanting to go next. That's That's where old Kai smirks and lets Vegeta into the spell. However, the spell for Vegeta doesn't last a few minutes, rather an hour passes, still nothing. 2 hours, 3 hours, nothing. All of a sudden, Vegeta starts weeping, then getting into some kind of grief state. About 5 hours later, Vegeta snaps and enters the new form. Old Kai is tired out by the spell, but mutters that this is all what he's been talking about, dubbing his Super Saiyan 5 and falling to catch his breath, with Shin coming to aid. With Goku and Vegeta in their forms, they exit the chamber and go to planet Cereal. Gas sees that Granola is nowhere to be found and that both Goku and Vegeta have achieved new forms, and he is impressed, but not concerned. Goku and Vegeta, however, decide that even though they just reached these new forms and disregarding its time limit, they will put everything they can into their offense. So they activate their Ultra Instinct technique and go to town beating Gas's ass. Gas has a massive ego, thinking nothing will happen. However, old Kai's prediction happens, and Gas is at his mortal power limit. He cannot go higher, while the two Saiyans go higher and higher with their power. Now here is where Gas is getting concerned, as the two Saiyans are on opposite sides and attacking him. Goku guts Gas, while Vegeta lands a neck chop. The two Saiyans put some distance and start with a final Kamehameha from opposite ends. Gas has nowhere to go, gassed out, no pun intended, and accepting his doom. Goku and Vegeta fire and the wave battle incinerates Gas on the spot, killing him. Gas is now dead and just on cue for Goku and Vegeta to get drained from Super Saiyan 5 as they drop down from exhaustion. The cosmos is now at peace, with Goku, Vegeta, and now Granola as saviors. Thanks for watching the series. While you wait for the next one, join the T23 Discord server with the vanity URL down in the description. Go vote for the next What If series that's gonna come up on this channel. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.